Brown 3, I'll reviewing this brand new murder mystery. This series dropped on Netflix. It's called Bodies. And when I saw the trailer for this series, I thought this series looks really very interesting. Especially the center plot for this show is so interesting. I was actually really excited to see this show. So if you enjoyed my review, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe. So in this series, you see these 4 detectives. They're in 4 different timeline and like they're doing their job, and when out of nowhere these 4 bodies shows up at their crime scene, and these 4 bodies is the same person. He is basically dead in all this timeline, and we see like, and he showed up in same like place in this 4 timeline. He's in the same place and same way he was murdered, and basically the show centers around 4 of these detectives. They investigate while investigating this murder. They somehow they start communicating with each other in this series. So this series does starring Stephen Graham. If you have seen Stephen Graham, if you have seen him in the trailer, I was personally excited to see him in this series. So this series does centers around also him because he's the big name for this series. And after watching this series, what do I think about this series? First of all, this series, it is like based on a book, and it does comes with 8 episodes, and it the actual all this murder mystery connection actually doesn't come in effect until episode 3. And the way the show starts, I would say it was a little bit too complicated and convoluted, and I was like, whoa, I'm just saying 3 timeline, where's the 4th one? I was just waiting and thinking they do show you the 4th timeline, and I thought the 4th one was quite interesting. While this show does have very interesting plot, and this combo show between time traveling and murder mystery sounds so interesting on paper. Sounds really interesting. As someone who shows on Netflix, I was really excited. But unfortunately, this series, I did not like it that much. I don't think this show will be a huge hit or anything like this. Mainly because this series centers around all these 4 detectives. I don't know why we have to spend so much of our time with their personal life. Like, you can show their personal life, definitely, after you set up your story. You do not throw all this story on audience face right away. It becomes even more complicated for people who is watching this show, because I think it's really important whenever you're making murder mystery to stay focused on the murder should be center of it. Although I do acknowledge their personal life is important to this story. Overall, I found the show to be sometimes quite boring, sometimes really complicated. Overall, it's really unnecessarily complicated, like end of it. Although the story itself still is interesting, because it's based on a book. I bet a lot of people will be excited to see all this character they read on the book. So I don't know how those people will feel, but people who are on Netflix, you have seen this kind of series before, like Dark, many others. Sometimes these murder mysteries are on Netflix. They're actually quite good. Some of them are really good. Even recently, there was a huge hit. It was starring Naomi Watts and many other. Oh, I forgot. That was a huge hit, that murder mystery. Do you know why that murder mystery was so hit? Because of the actor. This series, it does have Stephen Graham. Rest of the cast, they are not remarkable at all. None of this cast, you remember them after this show, you're like, they're not that good. And why this lady has this ugly haircut? I did not like her haircut at all. Because why? In the future, you have ugly haircut? Like half of her hair was gone. I don't get this Netflix. How they... The casting is not that... I guess impressive in this series. Like, their acting is not that good, although they're trying really hard to sell you their character, but unfortunately a lot of people will struggle to connect with any of this character, although they do try to bring all this diversity, which I do appreciate, but unfortunately you are focusing too much on that. Focus on the character, making them interesting and charming, and that's my thought on this. Let me know in the comment, what do you think about this series? If you enjoyed this review, don't forget my other reviews on other series. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.